What? Yes, make it quick. Hello? Sorry. Oh fuck.
How about Shalom?
Hold on. Sorry. Yes, make it quick, dude. I just don't think we'll go anywhere. You're just here to fight, and I get it, right? But like the thing is
No, I
I just
just
don't think I just don't think either of us will convince each other. I think it's a lost cause. Yeah. What's up? Yeah.
no, I was just gonna say what I said in chat. He shouldn't fight on this issue. Like it's not a winning issue for us.
Your father raped
Like
two 13-year-olds back then in 1990. What do you have to say to that?
I disavow. Can we talk about the Charlie Kirk murder now?
Okay, you realize what that sounds like, right? It sounds like you literally just accepted the premise that your father has in fact raped two children in like 1990. You accepted the premise by disavowing. You have just committed, you have just confessed guilt. You realize that's what you just did, right?
If you say I don't
If
agree
you
with my
deny this,
father doing that,
if you deny this, we don't. I'm sorry, this is just a waste of time. I'm sorry. If you deny this fact, like I'm sorry, we just can't move past this. We can't move past this.
this isn't the fair example because I have no guilt. I didn't do anything. Like Lemon shouldn't have any guilt. He's not Amon Khalifa or whatever the hell her name is.
Okay, but you said you would disavow and move on to Charlie Kirk, right?
Yeah, because that's what
Okay.
important. That's what we
Okay,
should be fighting
so
on.
so you realize when someone else is watching this from the outside, they are assuming that you have just confessed to your father's sins. Right? Like you have just not you have just like confessed that your father has in fact raped these two children and you disavow your father, right? You realize that's what it looks like to anyone else.
Yeah, but you can just say, "Hey, I don't think the Democrats stand for this," which they don't, and move on. Like you can message that this is not what the DNC stands for, and that you still think it's bad, and then just move back onto like the original topic.
Okay, do you remember when Representative AOC AOC a literal elected no, hold on. Do you remember when Nancy Pelosi said raped five children in the 1980s? In 1985, Nancy Pelosi raped five children. What do you have to say to that, Silver? After all, she is a staple of the DNC, right?
Yeah, that we should fight on. Nancy Pelosi did not rape 5 children. Like that's what we should say.
oh, why, wait, hold on. Why do you fight on that?
Because that's a part of the DNC. Like that's actually like something that could affect the DNC. Like this trans issue is like Nancy Pelosi being like a rapist is something that could hurt the DNC. Uh, like us disavowing what normies think is like a man punching a woman helps the DNC. Like even if it isn't true, like we're in a post-truth world. Trump literally lies all the fucking time, and normies don't care.
I
Like we
just don't
both
think
agree
we're
on
gonna
that.
move past this. Like I can already see the conversation playing out in front of us. It's just not like I'm sorry, it's just a waste of time.
All right, good talking to you.
Yeah, good talking to you. Bye. Okay, what's up?
They told me to get back in here. I don't know why.
Yeah, because
On stream?
Guy Buddy said, "Oh, you better let Silver back in there, otherwise he's gonna tell Destiny about my GPU allegations, which I do not want." Yeah, what's up?
Oh, I don't know who got he's shit posting.
Yeah,
I mean, if you
I
don't
don't
want to
care.
talk
I don't
about
care.
it, if you don't want to talk about it, then there's like no point. Like I'm not gonna fucking
No, it's
harass
fine.
you.
It's fine. Hold on. I just need to take a step back, okay? I'm angry with you right now, okay? I'm very angry. Okay, hold on. Masaki, thank you so much
Okay.
for the regular tier too. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, yeah, go ahead. What's up? Yes.
I have like I don't know if this would be helpful for you at all,
Mm-hmm.
but I kind of like wrote like my cost benefit analysis and wrote down both of our positions in like a text file. If you want to read that, would that like help you see everything? Like if it's like all laid out in text or not?
If I get more than 200 concurrent viewers reading it, then sure. Otherwise, I just don't really see the use of my time. I could be creating content that I can make videos off of.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know.
I don't know. I guess where we disagree is that like what I said for is that you look like you want us to look like big dick chads who control the narrative. Um,
Yeah, because that's optically good. It's pragmatic. Yeah, of course.
yeah, but like when we're going on these right wing shows, we're never going to control the narrative. Like that's like the whole point of like having your own shows that you get to control the narrative.
Well, sure, but that doesn't mean that you can't do everything in your power to maximize the amount of benefits you can get out of going there, right? We both agree with that, right?
Yeah, but like I think we have different ideas of what's the best way to maximize it. Like if like this hill like of like the trans boxer, I don't even know if she's actually trans or not. Like I have no idea. But like to a normie who has no idea, like Don Lemon not disavowing a man hitting a woman looks really bad for people who are on the left. And people normally associate Don Lemon with the left. You know what I mean?
Sure, but just so you know, there's like an infinite amount of conspiracies that an infinite amount of theories that could be brought up. So then Don Lemon would just disavow over and over again and not gain any ground on, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, hold on. Let me write stuff down so I don't forget everything. So you think there's an infinite amount of conspiracy theories that they can bring up that makes
Yeah,
us look
because
crazy?
because you agree that the main Caliph shit is like just complete rage bait for the right, right? Like it's a narrative that they crafted specifically so that they are able to continue to push the hatred against transgender people, right? Like,
Yeah. No, yeah,
okay,
totally.
right.
Yeah.
Okay, if you recognize that, um, do you what do you think would do you think that disavowing or not disavowing would play into it? Like, what do you think what is the best way to deal with that? Like, if you recognize it for what it is, like, what do you think is the best way to deal with that?
I think it depends if you know the facts about the case. I don't know anything about this, so if I was in this position, I would just say, hey, if it is true that this person is like a biological male and they're beating up on women, that's bad, and that shouldn't happen. Like, and then you can maybe like spin off some bullshit about how you're like you want to protect women's rights and the Democratic Party stands for women's rights. If you don't, if you do know anything, then I think you can actually fight on the facts. But it doesn't seem like Don Lemon actually knows the facts here.
Okay, sure. I don't entirely disagree with that. I think that if you say something like, um, now, the thing is that yeah, I don't entirely disagree with that. Because
Yes.
okay, specifically when it comes to Khalif, that specific situation is dumb as fuck from what I remember, okay? I don't remember the specific details, but that situation is dumb as fuck. I don't particularly because you're asking me, fuck me, dude. Because you're talking about a cost benefit analysis here. Um because you do waste speaking time when you disavow as well, and you're further engaging on this issue when you could be talking about Charlie Kirk. You have a limited amount of time. So that's another issue that kind of comes into play. So I kind of have to weigh that as well. I don't know. But
Yeah,
like
but like,
again, but then again, I would like just say that overall, you don't have the luxury of learning about every single possible conspiracy. Do you recognize that?
yeah, obviously.
Yeah. So if you as a human being cannot learn about every single possible conspiracy that they make, like for every single lie that you debunk, they make 10 lies in place of that, right? So if you don't
Yeah,
have the
obviously.
if you don't have the human brain power to, because no one has, not even Destiny has, right? Like he can't learn about every single possible anti-Semitic theory that exists out there to counter them when it comes to debating Nick Fuentes, right? Um,
Sure.
so in that case, would it just not be better to adopt a different strategy?
Yeah, and like what we see with like Lemon here, is that his strategy is to like fight for like trans rights, right?
Yeah,
Like he's saying women
and you
hitting
know
men
what? And
is
you know
or
what?
men hitting women is bad or
And
whatever,
you know
right?
what? And you know what? I'm not talking about like Don Lemon. Fuck this guy. Okay, who cares about Don Lemon? There's already several places here where I think he fucked up on. Okay, in my opinion. Okay,
Hmm.
so fuck this guy. I don't care about him. Okay, what I'm saying is generally overall as a strategy, in my opinion, the onus on the person to disavow everything is unreasonable because overall, if enough people disavow across multiple platforms in multiple debates, it is a net loss for the left.
I think there are like certain issues where disavowing works when you have a certain audience. So for example, like if you're on like Piers Morgan and they're grilling you on trans shit, what looks better, fighting for trans people when your audience hates trans people, or just saying, hey, we don't actually believe that trans people should be like beating up on women? I think the optical win is to say, hey, we don't think trans women should be beating up on women, right? Now, obviously, it's going to be different, every time. Like, it's not always going to be trans women beating up on women. But like generally, like the country as a whole is like not in favor of women in or trans women in men's sports. So like the Democrat Party should take that position so we can get as many people as possible. You know what I mean?
Right, but the
Like we
problem,
can't get
okay,
every.
sure. Sure, while you are right on that, you are essentially trying to defend yourself, right? You're trying to defend the Democratic Party. The problem is that when the average person sees that, and this is just the way that things are, this is in all debates, by the way. When you're constantly trying to defend yourself, you do look bad.
Yeah, but like it doesn't have to be like you sitting behind your shield the entire time saying, I disavow this, I disavow that. It can be like a parry. It can be like, yeah, men beating up on women is bad. The Democratic Party doesn't stand for that. What about Charlie Kirk's murder? And what do you have to say for what I said? Boom. That's like 15 seconds. You got the message that the Democrats don't stand for it. And you got back to the main topic, which is the Charlie Kirk clip chimping. Like
Right,
that was like a really
but
concise way to do that.
right, but the problem here is that they do not do the same to you, right? Like they are the people who, like, if you would tell them about, like, for example, let's just say you made up some kind of left wing, like, fucking you made up some kind of left wing conspiracy, not even conspiracy. You can just like go to any real example of Trump doing anything. Like they will refuse to disavow, right? They won't disavow that shit, right?
Yeah, but like I think it looks good to normies if you're willing to say like, "Hey, our side does not stand for this, and their side stands for shit that's like unpopular with normies." Because Trump is not like he's losing popularity with normies. Like his polling is going down with normies. Um,
Yeah, but that's probably
so like
but that's probably from all the fuck ups that Trump has done the entire time, right?
yeah, and if these people don't want to
Like you
own
can't
Trump's fuck
like
ups, then like it
I'm
looks
saying
bad to normies.
right, but you're placing a lot of onus on the left right now when the left doesn't even have power. Like the thing is that yeah, I agree with you that we need to like win the next elections or something like that, right? But you're placing a lot of onus on like you're basically, how do I even put this? Fuck me, dude.
Dude, we
Because I'm
have to
trying to I'm
fight,
trying
fight,
to I'm
fight.
trying to zoom up. I'm trying to zoom out a little bit, right? I'm trying to zoom out a little bit because you're saying that the left should be disavowing the left in a situation, in a state of the country right now where Republicans have control over every branch of government, and all the violent rhetoric, 90% of it is from the right. So you're telling me that the left has to appeal to the moderates on that ground which is laid bare before you by right wingers.
Hold on, I'm writing your thing down.
Okay, it's very
So
simple.
if I'm
Okay,
understanding you
okay, yeah,
right, you're
yeah,
saying that the left has to appeal to the moderates, but we're fighting on a
hmm
battlefield that's like set by the right wing. Is that what you're saying?
yeah,
Um, I think that's true, and maybe my sample size is too small. But when I was talking to like Sess earlier, who you like, you have you have your relationship with him. Um,
sure,
like when I was making ground with him
hmm
and like making progress towards him, and what he said he liked about our conversation before is that I didn't sound like a condescending dick to the normies.
hmm
And the normies don't want to sound like we're talking down to them. That's like a big problem they have with the DNCs that they think we're like snobs. But if we can come down to normies and be like, hey, look, these right wingers are crazy. We're not actually crazy. Vote for us. Like that seems to be a message that it was working with Cess at least. And when it what like our breakdown with Cess and VC earlier was when someone called him like a retard for not thinking Trump was a fascist, which I would agree you're a retard for not thinking Trump's a fascist, but you don't say that to them. You know what I mean? Like that's like a behind the scenes
the
thing.
context you're talking about is different from being on the Piers Morgan panel, right? Because we're specifically talking about the context of a Piers Morgan panel. Because when you're in private, you're talking to somebody, you have more room to change their mind. You have more room to sway them to your beliefs. But when you're on a fucking rapid fire panel or rapid fire debate, you don't really have that luxury, right?
Yeah, that's why I think it needs. That's why I think that like if we're in private and like Cess was bringing up like this, what's her name? Not Ilhan Omar. What's her name? Iman Khalifa. Is that her name? Whatever. This
Sure.
trans boxer.
Yeah.
Um, like then we can fight on the details and be like, no, she's not actually trans, or like whatever the actual facts of the matter is. When we have like these conspiracy theories on like rapid fire debate shows, we should say, yeah, I don't know if this is true. If it is true, it's bad. The
Yeah,
Democratic Party doesn't stand for
but you
it,
realize,
and
hold on.
your
But
party's
you re
unhinged.
but you realize we live in a failing world, because it is a failing world objectively speaking if we automatically grant the premise that that is true, right? That world is
Um,
not tenable for human survival. It's just not.
um, I think it's really shitty for trans people like you, but like this is gonna sound really shitty,
No,
but
I'm not.
trans
No,
people
no,
are
no, no.
not
I'm not. No,
popular.
no, no. Hold on. I'm not even talking about trans people. I'm not. I'm just not talking about trans people. I'm talking about any kind of double standards that exist like right now, because you agree, hold on, do you agree that the double standards, the difference of the double standards right now is causing destruction in the United States? Like it's enabling the Republicans to do more and more extreme shit day by day, right?
Um,
Because they're facing no repercussions for their actions.
yeah, but like even if there wasn't the double standard, we don't have any congressional power to punish Trump.
Sure,
Like we
I,
can't put any articles of
okay,
impeachment forward.
okay.
We can't like not we can't shut down the government, or like I guess we could right now, but like it doesn't seem like we will. So like where we have to fight is on like the fucking battlefields of the rapid fire debate shows and in our personal lives with our normie friends and our conservative friends. And we like not every conservative is MAGA. And a lot of these people who voted Trump this time were people who voted blue in the past or are in groups that traditionally vote blue. Like it's not like they're impossible to get them back on the voting blue side. Like these people had a history of voting blue. Like they voted blue like Clinton, Bill Clinton, Bush, Obama, Hillary Clinton, Biden. They were all huge
I'm
blue
not,
groups then.
I'm not just
Like
talking
I
about
don't
voting though.
yeah,
You
but like how do
realize
we
that,
get people to
right?
vote? Like we gotta win the rhetoric battle on social media, right?
Sorry,
And the
but the voting, so the way that I view this history is that it is much the domineering narrative that I believe in is that the Republicans have meticulously and carefully and sometimes brazenly as well crafted the environment in which we stand on today. That environment is an environment where we grade Republicans on a curve, right? But the reason why this has happened in the first place isn't because of the polls at the time. It is because they are the ones who are constantly doing the double standards enough until the media has accepted this, the populace has accepted this. Nobody points it out anymore because, oh, it's just the Republicans being Republicans and the Democrats have to be the better ones, right? The constant, like, oh, while they go low, we have to go high narrative that has persisted since Obama has not worked, right? Because this isn't about polls. This is about this is about things that are beyond voting, right? Because voting cannot fix the culture, right? We're talking about fixing the culture here, yeah?
yeah, like the media environment and the culture, yeah.
Exactly, yes. Because right now our position is untenable in the sense that like even if we win, let's just say even if we win the midterms, I am not convinced as of right now that winning the midterms will just cause everything to go back to normal. People have this like false conception that things will just go back to normal the moment a Democrat or a Democratic Party takes power again. I just don't think that's the case. I'm sorry. Unless change happens right now that would like enable us to adopt a culture where everyone is equal again, like in terms of standards. But right now we are so
Yeah.
far apart that the change has to happen now. And if you agree, if you already agree that what Destiny is doing is right, and you said you agreed, right? So if you
Well, with
agree that what
most of it,
Destiny
not
is
all
doing,
of it, not all of
right?
it.
Okay, sure, sure. If you mostly agree what Destiny is doing is right, I would say that I would argue that that is a good step in beginning to change that double standards, because otherwise living in a world where we are just constantly afraid of another Trump happening because of the lack of double standards, I'm sorry, because of the amount of double standards, is a world that is not really worth living in, because they are able to infinitely escalate while we have to infinitely like denounce our own side on average, not on a case by case basis, not election by election, not poll by poll, overall, right?
I'm not saying we like. I think you're like. I'm not saying we need to disavow our own side. We need to disavow the people that they think are on our side. Like even Destiny's like publicly shitting on Hassan, like on Twitter. He's publicly said we need to eject lefties from the party. Like we need like Destiny is like trying to disavow, not disavow, but like rebuke and distance himself from these crazy people on the left. And I think we should be doing that too. Like it doesn't have to be every single message is like, hey, we are not tankies and we are like normal Democrats who just want like more healthcare for everyone. Like it should like when they ask us, what are your policies? We want expanded healthcare, we want child tax credits for middle class people. Okay. And then when they
Mm-hmm.
ask us, hey, what do you think of trans issues? We say, um, yeah, men and women's sports is bad. And we think that people who think it's not bad are not part of our party. Dude, boom. Like it's like a
Yeah, yeah,
5 second thing.
but we don't. Oh, hold on. What context are you talking about here? I think it's important for you to clarify like what context before you say any of this, right? You're talking
So
about in the
let's
context to another voter, right? which is fine. I agree with that.
Uh, yeah, but like even on Piers, if Piers goes like, "Hey, do you think men should be beating women?" You should say no, and the Democratic Party doesn't stand for that. What do you think about Charlie Kirk's murder? And like, boom, like you immediately have a follow up. You know what I mean?
Uh, yeah, that is pretty good, but I'm just like I'm talking about on average, right? As well.
What? Okay, so now I guess it's my turn to ask you what context
Sure.
is like average context.
Unilateral. It does unilaterally mean universal? Is that what it means? Because again, you're
Um,
fighting
it means like
silver,
everyone at
silver,
once.
silver, silver. The problem here is that we're fighting ghosts. They are creating the
No, like
ghosts that we're boxing. We're boxing ghosts. Meanwhile, we should be attacking the substantial, actual, solid shit that is going on right now. We are wasting time fighting ghosts. And
but
part
like
of that
he like
disavow is that boxing ghosts part. No matter how fast you can say it on a Piers Morgan panel, on average, unilaterally, we have to constantly disavow like phantom issues. They're phantom issues. Because overall, trans people aren't important. I agree with you, Silver. Trans people are not popular. Trans people are not important. I don't give a fuck about trans people, except the fact that I'm trans. But the thing is that um, I'm sorry, but the fact that this entire trans thing has been blown up to the proportion that it is the way it is right now is because of the discrepancy in double standards. Is the discrepancy in standards, in my opinion.
um with this like we are fighting ghosts thing, I think
Hmm.
that there are a lot of like crazy trans people on Twitter that will like defend like not that this is like a crazy take, but to like
Hmm.
normies, it's a crazy take that men should be in women's sports, right? There's like people on Twitter who defend that who are like on the left. They're
Sure.
definitely
Yeah,
not on
I
the
agree with
right.
you.
They
I
may
agree
not
with
be
you.
like democratic
Hmm.
people, but they're on the left.
Yeah,
And
I agree with
because
you.
the Democrats are on the left, people just see, oh, this
Yeah,
person's on the left,
I agree with
this
you.
person's on the left.
I
They
agree
must be
with
the
you.
same thing. Like
I agree
obviously
with
we're
you.
not,
I
right?
agree with you.
Like
Okay,
we need to make that distinction to
I
normies.
I I agree with you, but you're still missing the big picture. You're kind of missing what I'm saying right now. Um, the only reason why do you think normies see that way? Why do you think like normies like why do you think when Republicans do incredibly heinous shit like make fun of suicides, attacks, and constantly sell like Biden like being eliminated from presidency as a merch, ignore it when Charlie Kirk is calling for President Biden's death, right? Why do you think when a normie sees that, like they weigh that differently as opposed to Democrats and trans people? Why do
Because
you
I
think they
think
weigh
that
differently?
I think people have like Trump fatigue or like people on the right are evil fatigue. I think that because we've messaged so long that like Trump bad and the right is like evil, like normies are like, oh, I don't trust, like they buy into this shit that like, oh, well, they're always saying it. And then it just becomes noise to them. You know what I mean? And then when the right is just all noise, you don't see the unhinged shit that the right is doing because you're like, the, the signal to noise ratio is fucked, right?
Careful, careful, right? Because almost as if you're proving my point.
But like, it's not every normie.
The Trump fatigue point is also another thing that the Trump is another thing that they have crafted. Have you ever heard of Trump derangement syndrome?
Yeah, I have stage 8 Trump derangement syndrome. It's
Okay,
terminal.
well, I don't see it. The thing is that like what it sounds like to me is that you're trying to do apologism whenever they try to accuse us of having Trump derangement syndrome. When Trump does something crazy, should we not accuse Trump of doing something wrong?
Instead of saying like Trump is crazy, we should say Trump wants to take this from you. Trump will hurt you in this way. This is what Trump is doing to you.
That's what the media does. That's what when normies view the media, that's what the media does. The media will talk about the potential consequences. The media does not call Trump Hitler. The media does not compare him to like constantly because I've watched like segments of like CNN and MSNBC and Fox News on Trump and stuff like that. Okay, maybe minus Fox a little bit. But like when we take a look at the other news like networks talking about Trump, what I see is that they typically regard him in respect. Like, oh, President Trump is like passing this bill today. Oh, President Trump is doing this today. What's your opinion on it? And there's like some civil discourse surrounding it, and that's it, right? Like, I don't really see, because right now you're telling me a right wing narrative. You've bought into the right wing narrative that the media is completely corrupt and the media is comparing Trump to Hitler, when in reality, you're not really seeing it as it is, no? You're buying into it. You're playing into it
It,
like a
it
fiddle.
it doesn't matter what the media is actually doing. It matters what people think the media is doing. People think the media is corrupt, even if the media is like giving 100% factual accounting with no opinions at all, and they see a CNN thing at the top, they're like, oh, it's fake news.
Sure, but
So like
that's
we
but that
we might as well.
but that's my entire argument. But Silver, that's my entire argument, right? Because the entire time I've been arguing about the double standards in terms of the way that normies view the conservatives versus Democrats, right?
Yeah, but the conservatives are trying to make us look unhinged, right? That's their goal, to make us look crazy. Because
Yeah.
that's what works. It worked for them the last election. We need to prove to normies that what they're saying is not true and that actually they're the crazy ones.
No,
If
no,
we
no,
go
no.
up
Hold on,
there,
hold on. You're pretending as if the average normie right now isn't brain broken by the last 10 years. That's the problem. Because the average normie now has completely been manipulated and corrupted by the double standards, which is why it ties in all together, right? Because I think that, in my opinion, the double standards poisoning that has been happening to normies over the past 10 years have done irreparable damage to the minds of normies and moderates, in the sense that they view Democrats as like obligate. They never do enough. Like, Democrats will never do enough. Meanwhile, the Republicans can do the most heinous shit, and they can just hand wave it aside and say, "Oh, that's just Republicans being Republicans. Nothing will ever happen." Right? That is part of the poisoning. That's part of the lead and arsenic poisoning that has been happening for the last 10 years. But we have to have the antidote. We have to start administering the antidote immediately. We can't wait 2 years to administer the antidote. We can't wait until the midterms to administer that. We have to administer it immediately. Otherwise, more people will die.
um, first of all, Americans don't give a shit about people dying as long as it's not in America. Okay,
Okay, you're
and
missing. Okay, but you get my point, right? Like, obviously, I'm making like a
yeah,
metaphor here. People aren't literally dying from double standards poisoning, but like in a way, they
I mean
kind of
they
are,
are.
right? Because they kind of are, because all of this downstream eventually results in Trump getting elected, and in like the right getting wins and wins and wins, and people are literally dying, right? Like, didn't over 1 million people die from COVID? I don't know. Like the thing is that,
Yeah, a
like,
million people died.
you're telling me, you're really telling me that you're okay with trying to appeal to the normies in the world where over 1 million people have died from COVID, and people are still willing to vote for Trump a second term. A
Yeah,
million.
because we don't have
A
anyone.
million
We don't have
Americans,
anyone else
Silver.
to appeal to. We don't have anyone else to appeal to.
Then we
We don't
deserve
have
to
enough liberals
die.
in the
Then we
country.
deserve to
We don't
die.
have
Then we
enough
deserve
lib.
to
We
die.
can't
Then we
take the
deserve to
black pill.
die.
We have to
Then we
fight.
deserve to
We
die.
have to
No, hold
fight
on,
for our
Silver.
country.
Silver, you realize the world that, like, playing into the double standards that we are being descended into is worse than death. You realize that, right?
It's better to fight a
It's
losing battle
worse
than to
than
die
death.
laying there.
It's
No, it's not. I disagree. I'd rather fight a
but
losing battle and
but
maybe sway some
that's
normies
what's
than just not
happening,
fight at
though,
all.
Silver. But that's what's happening. The thing is that that's my position against you. It's better to die going out, sorry, it's better to fight going out rather than it is to lay down your arms. Because to me, that is what you're doing. Playing into the double standards is laying down your arms. Playing into the double standards is taking the black pill, from my perspective.
No, but like, okay, if someone comes up to you and like, let's say you're on Piers Morgan, right?
Okay, tell me what's more passive. Is is doing the same thing the Democrats have been doing for the past 10 years passive or active in the context of
We've been
this?
in the context of disavowing, or in the context of like fighting on the
In the in
battlefield.
the in the context of switching things up and finally taking the fight to the Republicans.
No, we've been super passive. We haven't gone onto alt
Yes.
media at all. We're losing like crazy on
Yes.
alt media
Yes, exactly.
and on mainstream
Exactly.
media.
Yes. Okay. All
So
right.
that means we need to go fight. We need to go fight.
Yeah, but
We
what does
can't
that
just like
fighting look
lay
like?
down and let
The
the
fighting,
we
the
need.
fighting, the yeah, but you're telling me that the Democratic Party has been passive this entire time, and you're advocating for us to continue the same actions that have made us passive the entire time. It makes no sense. You realize what you're saying right
What,
now makes no sense, right? Like you're
like
saying we've been
look,
so passive, and you're advocating for more passivity or
well, like if I
passiveness.
look, okay, tell me if this statement seems passive. Do you think
Yeah,
men and women should be in the same sports? No, it's bad. The Democrats don't stand for that. What do you think about Charlie Kirk's murder and political violence in the country? That's
it's
not passive
passive.
at all.
No, it is passive because you're playing into their game.
Playing the game doesn't
You're
mean you're
you're
passive.
not
That's like it's an active thing to play
You've
the
been
game.
you've been you've been no, the problem is that you've been so comfortable in your own failure that you don't realize that you're playing into the game, right? Because the thing is that you've forgotten what it was like to win. You've forgotten how it feels to actually like set the game for yourself. That's also part of the problem, right? Because what you're essentially doing is that you already recognize that there are double standards going on. It's not like you deny that. You realize that there are double standards going on, and you're telling me I am comfortable with that. I'm okay with that world because we need to win. But then that is first that you're not winning. You're not because again, I'm sure we both agree that voting does not fix the cultural issue. When I'm actually talking about the cultural issue as well, right? I'm talking about in tandem, right? Overall.
Sorry, can you? So we need to fight the cultural issue and the media war.
I mean, it's both one and the same, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, like we're losing on the culture war. And I don't know what the way to break out of the double standard is. So until we have a way to break out of the double standard, we need to play the fucking game and win the fucking game. And I think
Okay,
this is the best way to win the game.
you realize so you're telling me that you don't really have a solution for the double standards yet, right?
Yeah, I think normies just have to realize how crazy shit is until and then
But
the
hold
media
on, hold on,
will
hold on.
play into
Hold on.
their
But
shit.
you hold on. Do you also surely we agree that the double standards are getting worse now, right? Like they're worse than they've ever been.
Yeah, probably. But definitely.
Okay, so I am the one that is proposing a solution and you're not.
Well, like if like let's say you're on Piers Morgan, right? And he hits you with this do you support men beating up on women? What do you say? What's your response?
I would say I know exactly what you're trying to do, but I'm not gonna play into it because there's no use conceding to a fucking double standards cuck like you. I'll probably say something like that.
Yeah, but then you look like you're dodging. You
Okay,
look like you're
then
being a
okay,
sophist.
does Destiny look like he's dodging on Piers Morgan? Or does he look like
No,
the
because
dominant person on the panel?
he kind of looked like a schizo. I'm not gonna. He didn't take his Vyvanse. His eyes were going all over the place. But he
Okay,
he
all
was
right.
able to
Well,
follow it. He was able to follow it up with like,
I didn't listen. I
"Hey,
didn't
I
know
won't
that.
disavow,"
I
and then I.
listen. This is one of the first times that I've heard like a genuine Destiny fan play into anti-fan narratives as well. Because the thing is that that's like, I'm sorry. It's just I just don't know how
I
we
mean,
can.
did you think
Do you
Destiny was
hold on?
calm during that interview? He definitely was.
No, he was justifiably angry. Are you kidding me?
No, yeah, I think he had the right to be angry, but um, like he was able to follow up with like, "Hey, I won't disavow this until X happens,"
That's
right?
literally what I'm saying. But okay, like I don't know why you're finding a disagreement with me. Then I don't know. Do you disagree with Steven on that?
Because
I guess.
no, because Steven like has like the pres like our leaders disavowed and their leaders haven't, right? Do you agree with
But
that?
but but he's but he's doing this thing that you are against. To voters, to his own audience, he's saying what he truly believes. But on a Piers Morgan panel, he's not disavowing. That is literally my prescription. You agree with me. That's my prescription. What are you saying?
That there are certain issues that we can't fight on. Like the issues that where we're losing on, we need to disavow those issues. And the issues are like they think we're too liberal. They think the left is like the tankies are part of our party, and like the trans shit,
Hold
which
on.
like
You're
we're
you're
losing on all
avoiding
those.
this.
We need to
Hold
we
on,
need
you're
to get rid of
avoiding this
those.
right now. You're avoiding this right now. What is the difference between what I prescribe and what Steven has said, even though you view Steven in a good light?
Because Steven is going hard on an issue where we can win. Going hard on trans issues makes us look like we're crazy to normal people. Like normal people will see this and be like, "Oh yeah, why isn't our president disavowing political violence? That's bad." Like that's like a normal reaction to have to that. That's not like a crazy leap. And he went on the
Okay,
podcast and he or not on
that's
Piers
my
Morgan. He was like, "I
prescription.
disavow all political violence."
That's
Yeah,
yeah,
but you
that's
don't
also my
disagree.
prescription. That's fine.
You don't agree with disavowing on like trans issues or whatever bullshit issue the right brings up that we're losing on. Like you
Okay,
don't
so
agree with that,
so
do
so
you?
you're telling me, okay. How about this? You're telling me in a scenario, let's just say Steven or Destiny is on the panel, okay? He's on the Piers Morgan panel, and Piers Morgan just said, "Destiny, do you disavow the Iman Khalif transgender sports thing?" What do you think Destiny will say in on a Charlie Kirk panel when he brings up like trans issues?
Does he know the facts about the case or not?
Oh, he does. He thinks it's bullshit.
Then he would fight on the facts. But like that's like a different scenario than like if they bring up a conspiracy you've never heard about, then you have a different strategy, right?
I don't think it's good to fight on the facts. When the topic itself is Charlie Kirk, even if you know about the case itself, when the topic itself that Piers Morgan have set for that episode is Charlie Kirk, and he tries to paint you as a pro-trans lunatic, what you are playing into his game specifically on that very panel.
No, you just say I'm not a pro-trans lunatic. The Dems aren't pro-trans lunatics. Let's talk about Charlie Kirk. That's why you brought me here. And then you can
And
even frame it on him, like you're distracting away from why you brought me here. Like there's like advantages to like you're making
that's
him look like an
not
idiot for bringing some irrelevant shit up. You're making sure
Silver.
the Dems what?
Silver, that's not the best answer you can give, right? The best
I,
answer you can give to try to correct the double, because then we're going back to the double standards talking point. We're going to go in circles, Silver. There's no point here that can accelerate or get us past this.
if I
You
I
know
think we
exactly
have to
what I'm going
play
to
the
say
game.
next.
We have to win the game. That way they stop playing the fucking game.
Is there anything
Like
else?
if
I mean, cool. I mean, I
anything
guess we
else,
can.
lol.
Yeah, because I just
Uh,
don't see any reason to continue the discussion or continue the debate because we've reached an impasse. The impasse is that you want to continue playing the game. I don't want to live in the world where we enable the game itself.
yeah, but the normies love the game. That this is the slop they eat up for fucking breakfast. We need to contaminate their slop with DNC
But
psyops.
that's but via your solution, you're just continuing what the DNC has been doing for the past. And do you realize we're just going in circles now? Like we're just going in circles.
Yeah, but like
I think a big strength of conversations is knowing when you should stop, not when you should continue, right?
I know, but it doesn't feel like you've said why my answer is bad. That's why I keep bringing that answer up. Like I don't feel like the double standards reason is like a good enough justification to not make us look less crazy to normies. Because that's what normies think we're crazy. How do we make normies think we're less crazy? Like, do you have an idea for that?
My idea is to manipulate the normies back
By doing?
by doing what Steven has been doing.
So fighting on issues that are good for us and not fighting on issues that are bad for us?
Okay, that basically told me nothing because it's like by definition good is good and by definition bad is bad. So I don't know what am I
Well, like,
supposed to
okay,
say
like
there.
so like Steven doesn't like fight on trans issues, right? Like Steve, when was the last time Steven talked about like trans shit? Like never, right? He doesn't talk about that shit. He doesn't care about it, right? And when people try to paint him as like this crazy trans person, he's like, "No, I'm not." Like when the guy came up to him at on Fuck America was like, "How many genders are there?" And he's like, "However many you think they are." Right? He's making these people look unserious, which is good. It makes them look unhinged to normies. And
Yeah,
when like the
but
guy
that's
was
not but
bullying the
that's not the
trans person,
critical point. But that's not the critical point here. You realize that, right? That's not the main point I'm trying to get at. Like the thing is that anyone can make a non-serious statement because a non-serious statement is not a disavowal, technically speaking, right? You're not ceding ground by saying however number of people you think they are. You're trying to dismiss the question so that you can get on with the point, right?
Yeah, but like, what ground am I ceding by like saying the Democrat Party does not stand for this? I'm taking ground. I'm saying the Democrat Party does not stand for this. This is not what the Democrats are representative
No,
of.
that's a defense. That's a defense, Silver. I don't know how many times I have to tell you. You're trying to defend yourself. You're trying to defend the Democratic Party. That's a defense. You're not attacking the Republicans on anything. Attacking the tariffs, attacking the amount of institutional harm they've been doing, attacking the you realize that like you're not attacking. That's not an attack. It's not. I'm
Yeah, but it's
sorry.
like if someone's swinging a sword at you, you don't just immediately stab them. You parry or block and then you stab them, right? And then you swing at them. You don't just like swing at the same time and hope for the best. You know what I mean? Like there you have to like there has to be some level of like we have to play like aggressive defense,
Hold
I
on,
guess would be the way I
I'm
would
being
describe it.
told something. To be fair, Destiny is generally dismissive of trans fights these days, with basically the equivalent of "who cares." Yeah, and I would agree with that. Dismiss, right? Dismiss.
Yeah, and you can just say,
Do you agree with
this
that?
is
So
bullshit. The
okay,
Democratic Party
so
doesn't stand for this.
no,
I
but
just think we
that's
should
not a
include the Democratic
dismiss.
Party doesn't stand for
No,
this.
Silver, but that's not a dismissal, right? That's a disavowal. You're making a disavowal. That's not a dismissal. A dismissal
If
is
you
"who
just say
cares."
like,
That's a
I know,
you're
but
doing a
there, but like,
disavowal. You're reinforcing the double standards by doing a disavowal.
but like the people who do care about trans issues, it's really important to them. Not a lot of people do care about it, but the people who do care are like,
Okay.
oh my god, they're gonna turn my fucking kids trans. Blah 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 blah. I'm never gonna vote for the trans party. You know what I mean? Like we like, and that's like a that's moderates. Moderates don't want their kids to be trans, unfortunately. All right. Or fortunately, whatever fucking position you want to take on it. But like it's a
Yeah,
80-20 issue.
okay.
We should make it clear
Yeah,
that we
yeah,
don't stand for
but then
the
the
wrong side
next
of that
yeah,
issue.
but then the next talking point I would then say is what, right? The next talking point I would say is, well, but
You're upholding the double
then
standards, Silver.
okay, I'm not sure if I sound like that, but sure.
You don't. You don't.
Okay. Um
But if you can't parry someone else's strike, what do? You just take the fucking blow?
you realize there are more than one way to like counter a strike, right? Like you can block, you can dodge, you can deflect. You don't have to parry.
Well, why would we just deflect and dodge? People already think
So
we're like
in this
slimy, disgusting
analogy,
Democrats. That feeds into it.
okay, no one would ever complain, like no one reasonable would complain you're dodging a sword coming your way, right?
If you have a bunch of drunk normies in the crowd who think you're a pussy, then yeah, like they think we're crazy bitches who want to trans their
Silver,
kids. We need to break away from that.
Silver, trying to appease the normies even for a minute, okay, is not actually trying to fix the issue of the double standards at play. What I am proposing would fix the would at least begin to try to fix the double standards issue, right? And address what you're actually saying. And it would like fix voting down the line as well. So the thing is that you're providing a band-aid solution to a massive gaping vagina of a hole, and I am proposing to slap a dick into that vagina, all right?
Okay, okay, but the midterms are in a year. Okay, they're like in a year from like a year and 2 months from today. We don't have time to dismantle the entire double standard media ecosystem. We need to fight now. We need to fight for like a year from now. Like we're
Yeah,
not going
I
to
agree.
dismantle
I
them.
agree. We shouldn't be on the defense. We shouldn't be on the defense before the midterms. That's insane. We should be on the attack, of course.
And what does the attack look like to you?
By addressing the entirety of what Trump has done for the last fucking 2 years since the midterms. What
And
are you
are you going to
talking
include
about?
like we have to
Like don't
include
tell
like
me.
people
Oh, okay.
people don't
But then
like
you're
Trump.
playing into
He's
their
the most
game. But you're playing into
people
their
do not like
game.
Trump. He's the most unpopular president in history, but we are more unpopular.
Okay,
We
do
are
you
like
think
at
do you
30% approval, he's at
okay.
40.
Reality check,
We need to
reality
raise
check.
ours up.
Do you think that Trump is unpopular because the Democrats have smartly like manipulated messaging so then the normies are able to like recognize how bad Trump is? Or do you think Trump is only unpopular because the Democrats are not really doing anything right now and that like and well according to the normies, right? That the Democrats aren't really doing anything right now, it's just Trump like fucking stepping on his own rakes.
Yeah, Trump's obviously stepping on his own rakes. The Democrats don't have any power
Exactly.
to stop him, even if they could, even if they
Exactly.
wanted to.
Exactly. Exactly. I
They do want
personally,
to.
right. So I don't want to live in a world where Democrats have to constantly watch out for eggshells to like and glass shards on the ground to cut their feet on. I don't want us to live in a world like that. I'm trying to move us towards a world that is not like that, right? That is pragmatic.
Yeah, but it's going to take us more than a year to pick up all the glass on the floor and the eggshells. And a lot of these people, like Taylor Lorenz, is on the left. She's not on the right. All the people that criticized Chorus, which was like trying to break the Democrat mainstream into the alt media sphere, those are all lefties. Like, we should tell those people to fucking kill themselves, like, and kick rocks.
In Minecraft, right?
In Minecraft, they should go
Okay.
mine cobblestone in Minecraft.
Thank you. Okay.
Hypothetically.
Okay. Okay, fine. Is there anything else?
No. Good talk.
Okay, hopefully you're satisfied now, right? You won't come in a third time?
Only if they bring in the GPU allegations.
Okay, I love you, buddy, okay? I love you. Thanks for
Love you, buddy.
having my
Stay
server
safe.
tag. All right, bye. See ya. Jesus.
Charlie Kirk into a martyr. You said, if a black man on the left went around saying what Kirk said, the right wouldn't consider him a hero. It's an interesting point. Let's take a listen.
Saying white women do not have brain processing power and are stealing jobs from black men, the right would fucking lose their minds.
Okay, sorry. I just got sent a quote from Hitler. Real quick. We gotta check up on the big A, okay? Not Atrioc. Adolf, okay? All propaganda must be popular, and its intellectual level must be adjusted to the most limited intelligence among those it is addressed to. Consequently, the greater the mass it is intended to reach, the lower its purely intellectual level will have to be. The receptivity of the great masses is very limited. Their intelligence is small, but their power of forgetting is enormous. In consequence of these facts, all effective propaganda must be limited to a very few points and must harp on these in slogans until the last member of the public understands what you want him to understand by your slogan. If you don't understand, okay, just look up SparkNotes or something, okay? Hey, look, he's doing the absolute cinema pose.
Mark Lamont Hill, Roland, Michael Eric Dice. Let's say these brothers are Bakar.
Okay, that's enough about Don Lemon. Fuck me, dude. Like that entire talk with Silver makes me not want to watch this Don Lemon thing. Oh my god, Jesus. Because I feel like I've hashed over all the opinions I could have ever said this entire time. Silver got his moment of fame twice, you mean? Jesus Christ. Okay, Silver has saved you all, okay? You can thank him. Okay, where's that debate that Rob Nor had with Connor? I'll probably cheer for Connor in this one, to be honest. Check these, please. Yeah, sure. Just kill me. I just end me, dude. Wait. Dude. What? Hello? Load?
He did not hate his opponents. He wanted the best for them. That's where I disagreed with Charlie. I hate my opponent. And I don't want the best for them. I'm sorry. I am sorry, Erica. But now Erica can talk to me and the whole group, and maybe they can convince me that that's not right, but I can't stand my opponent. Charlie's angry. Look at that. He's angry at me now.
Wait, what's the point? What's the point of this? It's just Destiny getting frustrated, right? I don't get it. Oh, you're just pointing out the double standards. Yeah, sure. I don't disagree. It is double standards. Oh, Stephen Miller?
Hello, Turning Point. Hello, Patriots. Hello to our fearless president, Donald J. Trump.
By the way, Silver, hopefully you don't mind me calling you a optics cuck, okay? Good luck. Alright, I am gonna call you optics cuck in my video release, okay? Good luck.
And hello to millions of Americans all across this land who are gathered in sadness and sorrow to mourn Charlie Kirk, but also to dedicate ourselves to finishing his mission and achieving victory in his name. The day that Charlie died, the angels wept, but those tears have been turned into fire in our hearts. And that fire burns with a righteous fury that our enemies cannot comprehend or understand.
Guys, okay? Once the culling begins, once Rwanda Genocide 2 happens in America, once Rwandan Genocide 2 happens in America, I'm gonna be dead first, okay? Period. This is just a fact, okay? They're gonna go for trans people first, period. It's not even close. Like, this isn't even a comparison. Like, 100% I'm the first to go, okay? Fuck all these people who try to appeal to people like this when they are the last to go. I'm sorry that you have the privilege of being the last to go, okay? I cannot be afforded that opportunity or that privilege.
When I see Erica and her strength and her courage, I'm reminded of a famous expression. The storm whispers to the warrior that you cannot withstand my strength. And the warrior whispers back, I am.
Daniel, I didn't know if it was alright for me to hop on with Silver earlier, but the problem he doesn't see is Pierce keeps asking the trans sports question over and over, no matter how many times he gets the answer he wants. If he disavows, they will keep bringing it up, so it never goes away as a campaign issue. It makes no sense to play that game. Yeah, right.
I am the storm. Erica is the storm. We are the storm. And our enemies cannot comprehend our strength, our determination, our resolve, our passion. Our lineage and our legacy hails back to Athens, to Rome, to Philadelphia, to Monticello. Our ancestors.
Just by the way, I will not accept at any time right now if you don't have an answer for how to fix the double standards. When the temperature is amped to the point where, like, you have Trump's right-hand man giving Hitler speeches, he's giving a fucking Hitler speech! This man is giving a Hitler speech! Like, I'm sorry for comparing him to Hitler, but, like, he's literally... you're not allowed to tell me that you don't have a solution right now for the double standards. You cannot. You can't.
Built the cities. They produced the art and
We don't have that time. We don't have the time to bide by and play the game. We don't have that time and opportunity. Like, I just don't think you recognize the how urgent this thing is right now. Like, I don't think you recognize how urgent of a time we are in right now. Like, we have Walmart Lex Luthor giving Hitler speeches about QAnon.
architecture. They built the industry. Erica stands on the shoulders of thousands of years of warriors, of women who raised.
Like, I'm sorry that you're white, cis, male, and straight, I guess. So then you're the last one to go, or maybe you won't even go at all because you'll be considered an Aryan, a true American, I guess. But you realize I'm one of the first ones to go, right? Do you have an escape plan for me or what? Like, Jesus.
Raised up families, raised up city, raised up industry, raised up civilization, who pulled us out of the caves and the darkness into the light. The light will defeat the dark. We will prevail over the forces of wickedness and evil. They cannot imagine what they have awakened. They cannot conceive of the army that they have arisen in all of us. Because we stand for what is good, what is virtuous, what is noble. And to those trying to incite violence against us, those trying to foment hatred against us, what do you have? You have nothing. You are nothing. You are wickedness, you are jealousy, you are envy, you are hatred. You are nothing. You can build nothing. You can produce nothing.
Bro. Dude. Bro, this is like... I just... How could you come to me and say there's no solution? Like... Bro is literally doing the most dehumanizing... He's literally dehumanizing all the way. He's going all the way. Like, he's literally comparing us to nothing. What do you do to nothing?
You can create nothing. We are the ones who build. We are the ones who create. We are the ones who lift up humanity. You thought you could kill Charlie Kirk? You have made him immortal. You have immortalized Charlie Kirk. And now millions will carry on his legacy. And we will devote the rest of our lives to finishing the causes for which Charlie gave his last measure of devotion. You cannot defeat us. You cannot slow us. You cannot stop us. You cannot deter us. We will carry Charlie and Erica in our heart every single day and fight that much harder because of what you did to us. You have no idea the dragon you have awakened. You have no idea how determined we will be to save this civilization, to save the West, to save this republic. Because our children are strong, and our grandchildren will be strong, and our children's children's children will be strong. And what will you leave behind? Nothing, nothing. To our enemies, you have nothing to give, you have nothing to offer, you have nothing to share, but bitterness. We have beauty, we have light, we have goodness, we have determination, we have vision, we have strength. We built the world that we inhabit now, generation by generation. And we will defend this world. We will defend goodness. We will defend light. We will defend virtue. You cannot terrify us. You cannot frighten us. You cannot threaten us. Because we are on the side of goodness. We are on the side of God. And to my friend Charlie, to my brother Charlie, I know you are looking at us right now. I know you're watching Erica right now. I know you're watching your children right now. And I promise you, my friend, I promise you, my brother, we will prove worthy of your sacrifice.
Dude. This is... I have no words. Dude.
We will prove worthy of your time on earth. We will make you proud.
Just by the way, this isn't some speech at Charlottesville. This is the seat of high power. This is like... Stephen Miller is like one of the most powerful men in the world right now. Like, who rules over us right now. Like, he rules over us right now. He has power over your life.
Will finish the job. We will defeat the forces of...
Finish the job. What? What does that mean? Like... What do you mean by finish the job? What? We have to have a solution. We have to. There has to be a solution. You can't tell me there's no solution. What job?
Joe Biden. A lot. Joe Biden. A lot. I mean, Joe Biden is a...
Is this the job you're talking about?
Joe Biden. A lot. I mean, Joe Biden is a bumbling, dementia-filled Alzheimer's, corrupt tyrant who should...
Shaken, not stirred.
This was used to run races against women in high school just so he could feel better about himself. Only people he could hope to beat.
Thank you, Corey, for the 5.
honestly be put in prison and or given the death penalty for his crimes against America. But Alzheimer's corrupt tyrant who should honestly be put in prison and or given the death penalty for his crimes against America. But Joe Biden, I mean, Joe Biden is a bumbling, dementia-filled Alzheimer's corrupt tyrant who should honestly be put in prison and or given the death penalty for his crimes against America. But
we will finish the job. We will defeat the forces of darkness and evil, and we will stand every day for what is true, what is beautiful, what is good, and we will achieve victory for our children, for our families, for our civilization, and for every patriot who stands with us. God bless you. God bless Turning Point. God bless Erica. God bless the Kirk family. God bless our heroes. And God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
Dude. Dude. Bro, I feel uncomfortable. Jesus Christ. Okay.